Okay, hello everyone. Today is Sunday, March 30th, 2025. Almost a year ago, I think it was the end of April, early May last year, 2024, I did a video regarding how people who are up to no good, I'm trying to be careful with saying certain keywords, but I guess we'll just talk about trafficking and how cars were being marked, and even my car was marked, and I noticed it, and I got an alcohol swab from the local Walgreens and just wiped it off because I was living at an Airbnb at the time. I didn't have all my own stuff with me, but anyway, so almost a year ago I came on here and I made you aware of how they will mark cars with, quote unquote permanent marker, and, they might put F for female, certain things like that. And, they'll put it on the driver's side at the front or the back and whatever. Okay. And it's interesting that almost a year later now, I'm now making this video. So it was just brought to my attention. I just became aware that apparently, regarding people that are up to no good and trafficking and things like that, apparently regarding public restrooms, people are reporting that even though it's a, public building code violation, etc., people are putting locks on the outside of women's public restrooms to lock them into the restroom from the outside. I just saw a video, and I think I'm going to put it in the description box below. I believe God told me not to post it on the community page, but that I can post it in the description box below for your reference. I've learned to ask God what he wants me to post on the community page, because sometimes they will actually remove what I post on the community page, and it puts me even more on their, their list. I'm already targeted. They're already monitoring me and everything I do. And so sometimes he won't have me post certain things on the community page, but I try to post what he permits me to when it's relevant, when it's important. Anyway, I digress. So I think I'm going to put the link in the description box below. You can go watch this video. At the beginning of it, there is some misandry, which is the hatred of men. I'm not promoting that. I'm not condoning misandry, but I am just sounding the alarm to make you aware, to warn you that this is happening. So apparently it happened in Texas and it happened in Louisiana and God knows where else. But apparently women's public restrooms, you need to keep an eye on them to see if there is a lock on the outside of the door to lock you in. So there's also a report that I guess in one of these restrooms that had the lock on the outside, there was a hole, like a 3-foot hole cut out or something that went to like another room. Something like that, just really shady, dangerous stuff. And, I was just thanking God because I spent over 3 years living predominantly homeless, living in motels, hotels, and Airbnbs. And there was a couple of nights when money was short that I even, tried just sleeping in my car with my kitty cat. Just me and her. That's the life I live. I live in isolation. That's just how things have ended up because of, 1, my own mistakes, and 2, other people's mistakes. Me not coming into alignment with God's will and other people not coming into alignment with God's will. And one of the nights that I attempted to sleep in my car, I was harassed by the authorities twice. And in between the two times that I was harassed, a few hours apart, in the wee hours of the morning, I went to go use a public restroom at a convenience store. And I was just thanking God that, nothing happened to me. I had my cat in the car, and God knows, what could have possibly happened to me now that I know that, this is apparently what's happening. People are putting locks on the outside of the women's restroom. So just be aware of this. Ladies in particular, of course, but, all the men out there, keep an eye out for your women, your mothers, your sisters, your daughters, your children, your wives, your girlfriends, your fiancés, your friends. Okay? Keep an eye on this. And where this was reported, it was on the women's restroom door, but it wasn't on the men's restroom door. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention. I just wanted to make you aware that apparently this is what's happening. I'm not surprised. These are the last days. We're less than 2 weeks out now from Passover 2025, which starts the tribulation, the last, approximate 3.5 years of the age. Lots of stuff is happening, and a lot of people are still asleep and not aware of how evil is rising. You need to be aware, okay? And I know a lot of people have been becoming homeless and are homeless and are living in their cars, or even just living like how I was in motels, hotels, Airbnbs, living transiently, moving around, etc. Ladies, please just be aware. Take a good look at the public restroom door before you enter it. Is there a way that you could be locked in against your will? Keep an eye out for this, okay? Especially if, you're unfortunate enough to be alone, like I was. I thank God for how he protected me. And see, this is why it's so important for you to consecrate yourselves. This is why it's so important for you to pursue your deliverance, so that whatever witchcraft has been done against you can be canceled. Whatever generational stuff you got going on can be canceled. Whatever covenants you have unknowingly come into, it can be canceled. Because that is how you ensure that your salvation is secured, that you're under God's wing, as it says in Psalm 91, and that he will protect you. A lot of people think they're in right standing with God, that they're under his wing when they are not. Okay? I'll put my email address below for you as well. It's simply April.Denise.Stefko@gmail.com. I'll put it in the description box below for you. It's always on my About page. Please email me for your sake so that I can give you instructions on how to participate in your own deliverance process, for your own consecration, for your own salvation, for your own protection. Because you do have evil spirits operating, whether you realize it or not. They may not be active right now. They may be dormant, but it brings bad stuff. And we are living in increasingly perilous times. But I just wanted to make you aware of this, that apparently this is what's going on. They're putting locks that can be like remote controlled, okay? Remote controlled to be locked, to lock people into bathrooms. And there was two reports. In the video that I'll put below, there was 2 reports. I didn't even watch the whole video because they were just kind of like harping on the same thing over and over again. So I stopped watching it, somewhat halfway through. But there was and both of the places were Exxons. They were Exxon. There was an Exxon in Texas and an Exxon in, I think the lady said New Orleans. And they were both on the women's bathroom, these locks. And the one lady, she went and looked up what kind of lock it was, and it said that it could be remote controlled. And it was technically a building code violation. And, if you see this kind of stuff, you need to make the authorities aware so that they can come in and enforce taking those locks down. But just be aware of this. This is just a warning for everyone out there. Just be aware of this.